Hey everybody out there in the YouTube model community, Chris coming to you from the Enchanted Model Car Garage here today, and I wanted to share some upcoming builds with you, kind of give you an update. There's really not much. I haven't done much at the bench this week. So getting started here, I want to sit back and thank everybody, give a big shout out to all of those who competed in the 48-hour build. That was really cool. Some good models came out of that, and my hats are off to you guys. To be able to build a model in 48 hours blows my mind. It would. There's no way I can do that, guys. That's why I don't even enter. I'm so picky, a little bit of a perfectionist, and there is just no way that I can build a model in 48 hours. So I just think it's so cool when I sit back and watch all those videos. And I apologize, I didn't get a chance to comment on everyone's. There were so many videos. They were so good. So I want to thank you all for posting them and sharing them. And the builds you guys did were really cool. And Chevy, brother, you got to finish that truck for us, man, because that thing looks pretty tight. I just think it's really neat, guys. So thank you for doing that. It was really inspirational, and it was really neat to follow those builds. And forgive me if I didn't comment on everyone's builds. With that being said, I want to thank a lot of the guys that are posting videos, Gangbuster Models. You guys are posting your videos, you and Flacco, and I think that's really cool. And I enjoy watching them. So thank you for taking the time to do that and share those things with us. And it goes a long way. With that being said, I want to kind of give some feedback of some of the videos that I've seen over the last week. One of the videos, and I apologize, I'm looking at my phone so I get the name right, was Styrene Junkie 73. You answered a question to one of the fellow brothers out there in the model community about gluing parts together, and you talked about sub-assemblies. And what I just wanted to kind of say, so hopefully your brother out there in the community who asked the question maybe is watching my video, and I can respond. When I start my models, the first thing I do is I'm like everyone else. I do wash all my parts. I use a distilled water, not household water. And what I do is I rinse, I let them air dry, and I go in and I primer my parts as I put them together. And I like to start with my engine block. So how I build my models is I first do engine, then I do suspension and chassis, then I do interior, and then I do my body. And then I add all of my exterior accessories on the body at the very end. With that being said, I always take my two engine block halves, I put them together first. Then I go and I primer and I paint. Then I bring it back to the bench and I let it dry, and then I take my heads and I put them on masking tape. I paint, I spray paint, sometimes I brush paint, most of the time I spray paint them. Again, I primer and I paint, I bring them back and let them dry. When all that's done, what I do is I take the underside of the head where it mates to the block, and I just kind of sand real lightly around the edge, and then I do a little bit on the block. And I use those micro sanders. You guys can get them from Hobby Lobby or probably your favorite hobby store. And then I just put a little glue and I put it on. So I don't put my heads on my block and my wall pan and all that and then go paint everything. I like to do every piece separate. But and sometimes I can't clean up, but I do paint the part first and then I glue it. And I use testers in the black bottle. I use this, and I also use this one. So every now and then I use super glue, and I just started that, and that's just because I was watching y'all's videos and a lot of you guys use super glue. But I'm not a big fan of the super glue. It seems like if you get any little residue on your finger, then stuff's sticking, and I haven't mastered it, guys. It just seems to be more of a mess for me. So I stick with the testers. So with that being said, it also takes me to Jan Hayer. Jan, you posted a video the other day of, how do you pick your next model? Well, good question, brother. For me, I do a lot of thinking all the time on my projects, my builds, my dream trucks, and a lot of you already know the models I build are cars that I've owned, family members have owned, or ones that I would love to own. And when I model, my mind, I put myself in the moment. So I put myself out there in fantasy land, and for me, it may seem childish to you guys, but it's a lot of fun, and I put myself out there in fantasy land, and I'm a shop owner, and I've got more money than God, and I can build anything that I freaking want, anything that my mind imagines. So I go out and, matter of fact, a lot of you guys do these, fellas, I'm sorry, I just went blank. The dioramas. And David Duncan, you have such a cool shop diorama. I really dig it. And a lot of you guys are doing that, and you all have really nice ones, so please don't get me wrong. And so going into Fantasyland with my mind and being in the moment and being a shop owner, I would like to build a diorama. First step for me is every shop has to start with a cool shop truck. So how do I pick my next build? Well, that's one that I'm getting ready to start working on as well. I'm going to finish up the Pete. I'm going to finish up my wife's Dallas Cowboy truck. I'm going to share with you this model in the background, and then also I want to share with you my upcoming shop truck build. And so in answering Jan's question, it's just whatever's in my mind, and if I envision it, then all of a sudden I start to think, wow, what would I do with it if I had the money, and how would I build it, and how would I paint it? And then I think, ooh, I would add this, and I would add that. Well, then I sit down, and I go out immediately, and I buy the kit, and I put it in the closet. And then I buy the parts and pieces, whether they're resin, or metal, or plastic, or aluminum, whatever. I go out and I source them, I buy them, I put them in the box, and I put it in the closet. So that when I have the free time, I can start building. Here lately, I've decided to start building everything for this diorama, meaning I'm going to do a tow truck, I'm going to do a shop truck, like a parts runner, I'm going to do a service truck, I'm going to do a heavy haul wrecker or heavy recovery wrecker, and then I've got my dream Peterbilt truck build that I want to get on. I've been buying a lot of parts over the last year for it. I've bought a resin engine, an old KT engine that I'm going to build, a Cummins KT. So there's so much I want to do, and it's just hard to pick because I get into these and I start building. And sometimes I build, and I get started, and then all of a sudden I lose it. It's just not there. I don't feel it. I box it up, put it back in the closet. I'll revisit it later. So, Jan, I hope that answers the question. That's how I pick. I just pick by what's the strongest thing on my mind. I've been doing trucks ever since I got back in the hobby a year ago, and as a lot of you know, it's taken me forever to do models. I just don't do them quick, and the only one I have finished is the Peterbilt. I'm almost done with the 50 Chevy, and then the freight shaker here that I'm going to be doing. And then I'm going to do my first car. So let's get into that real quick, fellas. Chevy Cheeseburger Tribute build. I'm going to do the first ever community involvement build. I'm going to get in on some of that, and what I'm going to do is this 1970 and a half Chevy Baldwin Camaro for the Chevy Cheeseburger build. But I'm not going to do it box stock. Guys, a lot of my builds are never box stock. They are truly, what I envision, or, most of my cars in my lifetime have all been modified. So I just hardly ever do a box stock build. So this Camaro is really going to be cool. I'm going to do some stuff to it, and I'll share that in videos as we go along, so you guys can get in on the action and see what I'm doing on that. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. I'm going to get started on that today. Hopefully I'll get the engine block glued together and start getting some paint and get some detail work done. Next thing I've got going, see that Cadillac Escalade EXT from a diorama. That's my first shop truck build. Boom. There's your teaser. That came out of another kit, but you don't know how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to leave it at that. It's kind of neat. So that's one of the other projects I got coming up. And I think that's it, fellas. I just want to give a big shout out and thank everybody for watching. And thank you for your time. Thanks for posting. Thanks for the comments. I'm sorry if I don't get back to everyone. And this video here, I don't know. I feel like I've just been all over the board talking and rambling, and I apologize. Keep watching my videos. I'm probably going to post another one tomorrow. I'm going to post several as I document this Chevy Cheeseburger Tribute build, so a lot of you guys can see it and follow along. So again, rate, subscribe, send your family, send your friends, and give me that feedback, either positive or negative. I'm a big boy, I can handle it. If you have any tips, give it to us, and we'll go from there. Guys, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day, have a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk to you later.